I heard somebody there on my Kentucky SDR. Come back. Hang on just a second. I'm not even prepared. Good Lord, how unprepared I am this afternoon. Okay, now station coming back. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4 November Hotel Papa.
Is that Kilo Oscar 4 November Papa?
Is that Kilo Oscar 4 November Papa?
November Hotel Papa. November Hotel Papa. Over.
I only have a bare copy on you, sir. Try one more time, maybe a different phonetic word for that word between November and Papa.
Between November and Papa.
Hotel, hotel, hotel.
Gotcha, November Hotel Papa. Is that a Roger?
Gotcha, November Hotel Papa. Is that a Roger?
Roger, roger.
Okay, November Hotel Papa, if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds to tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path from what I'm dealing with this afternoon, Roger?
From what I'm dealing with this afternoon, Roger?
Roger, roger. Terrible right now.
Give me just a little audio, about 10 seconds or 15 seconds worth of audio, if you would, sir.
Seconds or 15 seconds worth of audio, if you would, sir.
Roger, roger. Almost non-existent. The 40 meters almost propagation is almost non-existent. Over.
Okay, I've got a little bit better copy on my local antenna. What's the name there?
The name is Jeff. I'm running 100 watt with an inverted L set up as an invis configuration. Over.
Roger, roger, Jeff. And what's your location?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Roger, roger, Alabama. And what radio are you running today, Jeff?
I'm running the FTDX-10 at 100 watts. Over.
Okay, try that one more time.
I'm running the FTDX-10 at 100 watts.
All right, sir. And would you be looking for a setup? I might be able to help you just a little bit. All right, sir. First thing is to be sure that you're in that wide TBW, transmit bandwidth. It's selectable usually on most new radios. You probably have 3 options on newer radios, but the one we're looking for is 100 to 2900. That will enable your transmitter to perform at its maximum and then give you just a slice of daylight before you're busting into somebody else's picnic. Roger?
Roger, I have to admit, I am relatively new to ham radio. I've only been doing this for about 3 years, so I've had a lot to learn, and I am unfamiliar with what you're speaking of. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, look in your book and go for your transmit bandwidth. It's called TBW in a lot of places, TBW, and the one we want is many times called wide, and the frequency is 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900, wide TBW in your book. Roger?
Roger, roger. Let me take a look. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, probably better just to take notes. If you're unfamiliar with your radio, I can run down some stuff for you, and you can take some notes and crank it in at your leisure. Roger?
Roger, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So the first thing is to be sure that you're in that wide 100 to 2900 TBW. And then once you do that, move to your compressor processor. And we want to be in the 3 out of 0 to 10, depending on how your compressor processor is labeled, we want to be at 3 out of 10 and 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor. Roger, roger?
Roger, roger.
Okay, then move to your ALC. And as you say the word audio, and you speak it just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, don't stress it, just say it. And as you say it, then you have mic gain in hand, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you adjust your mic gain as you say the word audio, and primarily it's a focus on the first part of that word, which turns you into a human test tone generator. The audio part, don't worry about the back half of that word. Roger? And I don't have enough copy on you to actually be able to give you any specifics on your equalization. But why don't you try just to tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, and let me look around again and see if conditions have changed. Roger?
Roger.
Flawlessly, works quite well. I just turned up the processor just a little bit, the processor level. Now I'm up to 35, which is extremely high for me. Normally it's I operate at about 25 of it.
Yes, sir. We suggest 3. What happens is when you go past 3, your compressor starts to expand between the words. And that doesn't do you any good. We're looking for the maximum work on the word itself, and once past 3, it's just sucking up stuff between words. So a 3 is what we suggest. Roger? I don't have enough of you to really tell, but like I say, if you go to your ALC and are looking at your ALC and you say the word audio, and that should be 2/3. That's really the most critical adjustment to get a proper modulation level. Roger?
Roger, those are all good words. I'll take that into consideration. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I wish I had better conditions, or you had better conditions, or we had better conditions, and I could give you some information on your EQ. But just general rule of thumb, I usually have found that advancing your treble EQ 2 clicks beyond where you are at the moment is usually a pretty good idea. The whole thing about radio is to be able to cipher the words, and the words have to be intelligible, and that means that they have to have high degrees of articulation. So, and articulation occurs mostly in the treble areas. So just go ahead and make another note to boost your treble EQ 2 clicks additional from where you are. Roger? I only got QSL on that. You just popped up for the QSL part. I would suggest, why don't you go ahead and try to set your ALC now? Be looking at your ALC meter as you say the word audio, and adjust your mic level until it's 2/3 deflection of the ALC meter, or 7, whichever comes first. Yeah, I've been around the horn. I could make one more suggestion to you. I do have quite a few SDRs around the country to try to help our 100-watt friends, and I don't have a handle on you anywhere except my local antenna, and that's only barely. So I would suggest that maybe you would think about a more efficient antenna in your life, like a resonant tuned dipole antenna that will really probably help your output greatly. You can go directly fire to the wire. You will not need an antenna tuner in most cases on the on the band that you've selected. So that's what we're running here, and it's been very effective for the last 6 years. So just by the fact that I don't have a handle on you anywhere but one antenna and just barely there, I would suggest that maybe, if you get a chance to construct a resonant-tuned dipole antenna, I think that will help your output propagation. Roger? Yes, sir. Well, the more efficient the antenna, obviously you can go around the world with 84 milliwatts if Mother Nature lets you, but it's usually what happens mostly. And usually mostly you have 100 watts, so you're challenged and you want to make your antenna as efficient as possible. So I would suggest, maybe looking into that resonant tuned dipole antenna. You can make it for almost nothing, and then get you an AV switch, so you can listen to the antenna that you have and listen to the difference between that and a resonant tuned dipole antenna. Roger?
Roger. One of the things I was going to do, and I definitely appreciate what you're saying. Currently, the inverted L that I have is set up for NJEFF. It is 10 feet off the ground, and it is 72 feet long. I've also been very interested in NJEFF. One of the major thrusts of what I'm doing. But I'm thinking about increasing the length out to 100, as close to 130 feet instead of 72 feet. What are your thoughts, sir?
Gosh, I don't really know about that. I just know that, as far as an in-fed antenna, I think the dipole antenna, not only the dipole antenna, but the resonant tuned dipole antenna is tremendously efficient. And that's what you're looking for. What is called gosh, I can't even remember the formula now, but it means your signal strength coming to the area that you're looking to put the signal is, I think, greatly enhanced by using a resonant-tuned dipole antenna. Roger?
Roger. Well, I will look into that and see what I can find. Like I said, I'm always interested in looking at other antennas, and I have a dipole design that I have seen demonstrated that they actually use a pool noodle, of all things, and do a helical coil and use that as a dipole. And I was going to work with that here and see what that might do as well. Over.
Roger, is that some kind of a loading vertical coil or something?
It's a helical coil, and the spacing on the coil is at 1 inch, so that your resistance length of it is the one that I'm currently getting ready to build is for 80 meters. The physical length of it is for this dipole is a total of 8 feet. But anyway, I haven't built it yet. We'll see if it works. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, just keep in mind that anytime you load an antenna, you coil load an antenna, the efficiency is taking a nosedive because you're getting the radiation balance length out of a coil, and that just tremendously upsets the efficiency of the wire. You know, the difference between a coil and the actual wire to radiate. Roger.
Roger. Well, on that topic, if your dipole is perfectly in a line, I understand that is the best way to set up the dipole. But if it has to be at an angle, does that diminish its properties? Over.
Well, I have my antenna is half of it is towards up in Canada, and half of it is towards Miami. So you can bend it around, and if you've ever seen the radiation pattern of a wire, it radiates broadside to the wire. And so I have these selected positions, broadside to Montreal and broadside to Miami, which also puts a hot spot in the Carolinas. So I really have the best of both worlds. Sometimes you have to work in your positioning, but the other thing is try to get that antenna up about 30 feet. If you can get 30 feet, pretty much does it. It doesn't have to be, 80 or 100 feet. It probably helps, but 30 is a really good height. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, I need to work on that. My property has a lot of trees on it, which makes it a little bit difficult to string a wire. But yeah, those are very good words, though.
Yes, sir. And one other thought. I used to run a sloper, what's called a sloper antenna. I have one tree that is tremendously tall. It's like 100 feet tall or higher. And so I had one leg of my 80-meter dipole running to the top of that tree, and the other part of it kind of running down to about 15 feet. And I tried over a period of 3 years to get the SWR down on that antenna, and I never could. And then through pure dumb luck, I lost my high spot in the tree because I was using little tie wraps to hold the antenna together as I was working on it. One of them slipped, and there goes the neighborhood. I lost that connection up in the tree, so I had to just get the antenna serviceable. So I had to go to the first limb in that big tree to get that antenna working, and all of a sudden my SWR was just perfect. And I'd spent 3 years trying to get it there, and by pure dumb luck, I got it there. And the thing was that both ends of that antenna, the dipole antenna, have to be somewhat similar to each other, or you'll never get it together. See, I had this dipole going up high, way high on one end and very low on the other end. So the reaction to the earth was totally different between the two, and I never could get the SWR down. But then when I lost that high spot and I had to run that other element kind of horizontal to the first limb, very low, it matched very closely to the other end, and my SWR just went way, way down.
Wow, that's very interesting. Well, I really appreciate all your help. I think I'm on a run. But tell me your little cold time again, over.
I'm sorry, repeat.
I think I need to run, but I appreciate all the advice that you've given. Tell
Yes, sir. It's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Name is Jim, and we're located around Louisville, Kentucky. Matter of fact, this weekend they have a thing called Thunder Over Louisville, which has a bunch of jet aircraft, Army and Air Force, making demonstration runs around the area down towards the Ohio River. Because it's just a major fun time in the Kentuckiana area. It's 1 week before the Kentucky Derby, which is next Saturday. Roger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. More fun on TV than in person. Roger. Roger, the name is Jeff there, Roger. Is that it, Roger? Okay, Jeff, let me say 73 to you, sir. And if you want to hear your audio or what I've managed to grab of it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger. Yeah, Roger there, and I hope you consider maybe that tuned dipole antenna in your life. I'm sure you'll be very pleased with it. So let me say 73 to you, sir. Have a good afternoon and a great weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.